The battle for this year's championship title has reached a pivotal point with the Austin Grand Prix race just around the corner. But in a shocking twist, the FIA has dropped a bombshell that could completely shake up the competition. A sly tactic involving one team's clever exploitation of the park firm regulations has been uncovered, forcing the FIA to take swift action. The impact of this move could be immense, reshaping the title fight in ways we've never seen before. With so much on the line, the tension is at an all-time high. But there are still some unanswered questions. Will this unexpected intervention be enough to level the playing field? And more importantly, which team might be behind it? Stay with me, and I'll guide you through all the key details, plus the upgrades you need to watch out for during this high-stakes weekend at Austin. The second major break of the season has been a long and frustrating wait for F1 enthusiasts. But finally, the wait is over, and we are just a day away from the much-anticipated return to action. Formula One is back at the iconic circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, with this Grand Prix shaping up to be one of the most crucial races of the season. This weekend represents a final opportunity for teams to introduce critical car upgrades before the championship enters its home stretch. Following Austin, back-to-back races in Mexico and Brazil will set the stage for an electrifying Las Vegas showdown just 3 weeks later. Teams have been burning the midnight oil, perfecting their upgrades for this crucial part of the season. What makes the Austin race even more intriguing is the fact that it's happening under sprint race conditions. That means teams will only get a single hour of practice to optimize their new upgrades before racing for precious points. It's also the first time in nearly 2 months that we'll see these cars on a traditional circuit. Although Lando Norris dominated on the streets of Singapore with a stunning 21-second victory, that result holds little weight here. Austin will give us a real head-to-head comparison between Red Bull and McLaren, setting the stage for the remaining 6 race weekends. The big question is whether Norris has what it takes to challenge Max Verstappen and make up lost ground in the championship standings. But as thrilling as this on-track battle promises to be, it might be overshadowed by a fresh controversy that has already sent ripples through the paddock. FIA investigation has uncovered a potentially game-changing maneuver, one that could influence the entire championship narrative. Reports from motorsport insiders suggest that the FIA's latest investigation revolves around a crafty trick to manipulate the ride height during parc fermé conditions, a move that could give a team a significant advantage. Discussions between the FIA and various teams during the recent break focused on suspicions that an undisclosed team might have found a way to tweak the front bib clearance between qualifying and race day. Now, for those unfamiliar, the front bib, also known as the T-tray, is situated at the front edge of the car's floor. This component plays a critical role in controlling the airflow underneath the vehicle. Even minor adjustments to its height can drastically impact performance by managing how much air passes under the floor at different speeds. Here's where it gets interesting. The allegation is that the suspected team might have been lowering the car's clearance for qualifying when the car runs with minimal fuel, giving it peak speed before raising it again before the race. By doing so, they ensure that the heavier, fuel-laden car won't scrape the ground too much during the Grand Prix, avoiding damage to the plank and preventing potential rule violations. While teams are allowed to adjust their front wings under parc fermé rules, any unauthorized change to other aerodynamic parts, including the floor height, is strictly prohibited. Teams that break these rules usually face harsh penalties, such as starting the race from the pit lane. There are rare instances when teams deliberately breach parc fermé rules. For example, Aston Martin took a calculated risk at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix this season by modifying Fernando Alonso's suspension setup, which forced him to start from the pit lane. However, doing this on purpose is always a gamble and not a strategy teams take lightly. That's why the FIA's discovery of a potential loophole being exploited is so alarming. It appears that one team may have found a way to discreetly alter the front bib's height through a hidden device installed within the cockpit, an innovation that would be nearly impossible to detect through regular inspections. Sources indicate that this adjustment mechanism could be easily activated by a mechanic during routine car checks before the race without drawing attention from officials or competitors. The FIA only became aware of this possibility thanks to the detailed car designs uploaded to their open-source platform, where all teams share specific component information. Although the governing body has yet to find concrete evidence of any foul play, the mere suggestion of such a trick has prompted immediate action. The FIA has decided to revise their inspection procedures to prevent this kind of manipulation from slipping through the cracks in the future. The FIA has made it clear that any attempt to modify the front bib clearance during parc fermé is strictly against the rules. An FIA spokesperson emphasized that although no direct evidence has been found to confirm the use of this technique, the organization remains vigilant and has already implemented new inspection protocols. As part of these changes, the FIA may now apply a seal to the front bib mechanism to guarantee that no unauthorized adjustments are made. If a seal is broken or tampered with, it will immediately indicate a breach of the regulations. This extra layer of scrutiny could force teams to tread carefully, especially if they've been benefiting from such tactics. Some speculate that we might see subtle changes in qualifying performance from certain teams, those whose single-lap pace was previously enhanced by this hidden device. However, identifying the culprits won't be easy. With all teams introducing significant upgrades in Austin, any shift in performance could easily be attributed to these modifications rather than foul play. Fans and analysts will have their eyes glued to the top teams this weekend, looking for any signs of inconsistency between qualifying and race pace. But unless someone captures photographic evidence of the alleged device inside a cockpit, the mystery may remain unsolved. And with the FIA being cautious about making accusations without hard proof, it's unlikely that we'll see retroactive penalties imposed on the suspected team. One thing is certain: the stakes couldn't be higher. This controversy comes at a critical moment in the season when every race result carries immense weight. A sudden drop in qualifying speed or race performance could indicate that a team has been forced to abandon the suspected device under FIA pressure. However, with so many unpredictable variables at play like new upgrades, changing weather conditions, and driver form, it's going to be difficult to pinpoint the real reason for any performance fluctuations. Now, all eyes will be on the top-performing teams at the U.S. Grand Prix X, as this controversy has intensified the spotlight on qualifying performance. A sudden shift in pace could give us the first clue about who may have been benefiting from the suspected ride height trick. While it's easy to assume the usual suspects, Red Bull or McLaren, others believe that even a midfield team could have been exploiting this loophole, hoping to quietly climb the ranks without drawing too much attention. Adding to the intrigue, the U.S. Grand Prix is pivotal not just for the championship battle but also for the upgrades every team will introduce. This weekend could offer a last-ditch chance to make meaningful improvements before the season draws to a close. For example, Mercedes had a tough outing in Singapore, where strategy misfires cost them valuable points. Lewis Hamilton struggled to make the most of his soft tire start, finishing a disappointing 6th, while George Russell ended the evening in 4th, labeling it a damage limitation race. During the break between Singapore and Austin, Mercedes technical director James Allison revealed that the team has been working on solving those performance issues while preparing a significant upgrade package for the Circuit of the Americas. He hinted that these changes could provide the boost they need to finish the season strong, explaining, "We've got a fairly substantial set of new parts coming for Austin. And we're confident they'll give us a good shot at a competitive weekend. The focus now is to deliver on that potential and gear up for the remaining races." Unlike McLaren, which is locked in a fierce battle for the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes finds itself with little left to fight for this season. However, McLaren's situation couldn't be more different. They are on the brink of achieving something extraordinary. Holding a slim lead in the Constructors' standings, McLaren has its eyes set on securing its first team championship title since 1998. On top of that, they are determined to push Lando Norris toward his first driver's title, knowing every point matters in these final races. The team's success this season can largely be traced back to the major upgrades introduced at the Miami Grand Prix. One of the key changes was a new floor design, which gave the car a more stable platform and allowed for a broader range of setups. Since then, McLaren has wisely avoided major adjustments to the floor, choosing instead to optimize other areas of the car. But rumors are now circulating that McLaren will bring a completely new floor to Austin, marking a bold shift in their development strategy. Under the current ground effect regulations, a floor upgrade can either be a game changer or a costly misstep. Several teams have fallen into the trap of over-engineering their floors, resulting in a drop in performance rather than an improvement. McLaren will be hoping to avoid such setbacks, especially with only 1 hour of practice available to fine-tune the new setup before qualifying. Every second on the track in Austin will be crucial. For Lando Norris to stay in contention for the title, both the car and the team's execution must be flawless. Beating Max Verstappen on this circuit is no easy feat, and with just 6 race weekends left, McLaren knows there's no room for error. However, making changes this late in the season comes with risks. Any mistake could cost Red Bull valuable points, giving McLaren the opportunity to close the gap in both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships. If the new upgrades fail to deliver, it might open the door for Lando Norris to challenge Verstappen more seriously than ever before. The question on everyone's mind is whether one of the top teams might have been secretly bending the rules this season. If a team's qualifying performance suddenly drops off while their race pace stays consistent, that might be a telltale sign that the FIA's crackdown has forced them to abandon the suspected ride height trick. However, with so many upgrades in play, it won't be easy to distinguish genuine performance shifts from strategic adjustments. The stakes are higher than ever. A mistake by either team this weekend could shift the momentum in the championship battle, potentially handing one of them a crucial advantage in the season's final stretch. As the countdown to the U.S. Grand Prix continues, it's clear that every decision made from here on will carry immense weight. Whether it's the strategy on race day or the integrity of the cars themselves, the margin for error has never been smaller. So, who do you think might be the team under FIA scrutiny? And how will these last-minute upgrades shape the championship race? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you're enjoying the updates, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to F1 Reverse for more daily content. Until next time, drive safe and stay tuned for the next race.